Let's get the Dream White. Getting some other kind of tape. Okay. Hey everybody, Mike from Texsource here, and I'm going to review a product from one of our distributors. You've heard of the Space Force. This is called the Fist Force.
The Fist Force.
And, I have a little metal part, another little metal part. These look like the handle, a bag of hardware, two little metal rods. It looks like the instruction manual is on this barcode here. So let's have a look at that instruction manual. Okay, so this takes you to their website, and it looks like there's your assembly instructions. I did grab some 70 durometer squeegee material, and oh, we've got the world's smallest piece of sandpaper here. This kind of gives me the feel of a automatic squeegee. This black thing I don't see on there, but it's definitely the main part. There's a little textured side right here, and on autos, those little textured grooves, that's usually what holds a squeegee, so it makes sense to me that it's gonna kind of come together like that. Yeah, I'm guessing that if it grips further down on the squeegee, then it'll be a little more stout. It's definitely high-end construction. So picture this as the tank version of the Easy Grip. We've got 4 holes, although I have 5 bolts, I'll always take extra. And so I know by default that it's got to grip something like this. These little square washers are going to slide in. Yeah, they're going to slide into this chamber. To line them up carefully to match these holes on top, and then put these screws down in there. So you see I've got 4 holes, so I just place these in here. Then I'm going to have to figure out how to align this. Okay, I'm going to set it right here like this. This is how you're going to want to do this. You're going to set this where it's going to jump up onto. I'm going to set these screws here. Okay, so yeah, so they're pretty good. And then it's a Phillips head screwdriver. You need a big ass Phillips head. Yeah, this is definitely tricky. What I'm hoping is going to happen is that because this is a lot heavier than the plastic cousin, this will help with inks like white, where you need to put a little more force down. So I'm just going to get this semi-tight so that I can make sure that the squeegee blade is forced in there and left to right pretty good. I like to have them not overhanging. You could have them a little bit under, but I'm trying to get all the width I can out of there. You want that straight across. And like I said, this is really like an auto squeegee. That's what it really feels like. Let's see how these handles work. It looks like these little stubby things, they may be like when you rest the squeegee down. I'll probably try to put those on last. But these handles here are going to have to go into this last slot that you see. Okay, I need to unscrew this a little. Outside or the inside? Looks like it's going to have to go on the outside. So I'm going to loosen this up some until I can get it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's actually clever, because that just tightens right up and it's right there. So let's get the other one on there. And it turns out there's a little flat plastic washer. It's going to have to go on the outside because it just can't fit into the slot. So there you have it, pretty much. I still have to put these little eyelet hole things on. They go right here. Phillips head screwdriver. Maybe it just needs a little 3-in-1 oil or something, but yeah, you can just feel it's kind of chunky as you're unscrewing it. I'm not so sure about these little tips. I'll have to see how those come into play. And I'm not sure about the pricing, but I think they're in the $60 range, something like that. And you have to bring your own blade to the show. So it's just the squeegee itself. Okay, so what do we got? I'm gonna have to figure out. They show a picture of it laying down like, I would imagine if you pull like this, then yeah, there's only one way this can go. Looks like you can loosen these up and slide them out. So just like a manual squeegee, the further your hands are apart, the more leverage you can get down. It's a big mistake that I see new printers doing is they've got their grip too close like this, and they're trying to push down where you want it almost overhanging if possible on the classic wooden squeegee. So these rods here, they're bent a little bit, but I see this little hole right here, and in this little hole it looks like you just jam that rod down in there. Now I don't know, yeah, so back in the old days, kids, we used to take wooden squeegees and we would put nails in the end of the squeegee, so if they fell, they wouldn't fall into the ink. So this is sort of a throwback to that. Now these you could extend these out, and it's probably just bent so that once it goes into this little end here, it just sort of stays where you want it to. Now, the miniature sandpaper, these are machine parts. These are machine parts, so yeah, that'll cut your finger off. So I'm just gonna hit these edges real quick just to knock any kind of burr off of. And I can feel it already. It's no longer ready to cut your finger off. Got the built-in off contact. All right, let's get the Dream White this too. Press side here, and I'm kind of set up, and yeah, this thing is definitely weird. You want to have it this way, but honestly, so it looks like these things will save you if it falls forward. The printing, like I said, I'm a puller and then I back flood, so I'm gonna have to see how that works. So let's give her a try. This is another thing when you're back flooding. I back flood with one hand here, so let's try her out. The fist force. Okay, and this ink, it's a little cold. The boards are cold too, so I didn't quite clear out the mesh. This is something that'll help. You see, it just wants to slide back. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. You know, like I said, those instructions. So now that does have your squeegee going forward a lot, but maybe that's what these little stubs are for. Yeah, I think I finally figured it out. I'm pretty sure now that this is going to dip down in here so that when you go up, it's not going to slide, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just give this another pull, and then it's like my hands come down and are hitting these edges here, so that makes me want to go back and sand those down a little bit more. But I've never printed with the squeegee like this before, so you know, it's obviously something to get used to. You can really crank down on it, that's for sure. I like the force part of the name. Okay, we've got our first hit flashed here, and I'm gonna go for a second hit. Like I said, I'm gonna change the grip a little bit. On the manual squeegees, I usually take a wide grip, but because my hands are hitting these edges right here, I feel like I need to swing these in. So it looks like you can just loosen these up and then tighten them again. So that's nice that it's tool free to change the grip. So now my hands are hitting the edge right here, and already I can tell that's a little, probably giving a little bit of leverage up. We're gonna give the second hit. I'm printing with my arms instead of my body like I've taught everybody over the years. So I'm gonna try to print with my body. Okay, so definitely put it right there, and it looks like it's going to stay secure. What we end up here with is a perfectly printed shirt. It's beautiful. So I did my first printing ever with the Texsource. I'm gonna be honest here, it is very awkward. I've never used a squeegee like this or anything different than just the standard wooden squeegee. I don't even like the metal hand squeegees, to be honest with you. But I can see that there's a scenario where this extra weight and how well this is made would help you as far as getting more pressure down. And if you're already using a similar thing, this is a beefed up version of that. So if you like using a squeegee blade with the grip handles like that, then this is going to be your Cadillac model of that. I was able to achieve good prints, and so I had no trouble with that. It's nice that these things would prevent you from flipping it over into the ink. And then these back things, once we figured out how those hit to the back of the frame, then it was a hell of a lot better than it just sliding back. So the jury's still out, but if you're a printer that has trouble getting pressure down, and this might be the answer for you. So I'm going to recommend that our company at first, maybe we start drop shipping these from the vendor, and then if it's something that we start selling a lot of, then I'm going to say bring them in the house.